So I've been interested in, and tell me if I'm pronouncing this wrong, but Nouveau Riche Entertainment, right? NRE.
Yeah.
What is that about? How did that start? What was the idea behind the naming and everything like that?
Okay, so this is a crazy story. So back in the pandemic, me, Red, and a few friends, we were staying in the house because we couldn't go nowhere. So we just chilled in the crib, and I'm one of those guys who are like, I just can't not do nothing, you know? So I was like, we should do something. And we was like, let's start a production company that shoots dancers for Dallas, you know what I'm saying? So because I met Yak Films back in 2017, 2018, and it was not a pleasant experience. Okay, yeah, let's just start a production company that promotes Dallas, shoots Dallas, et cetera, et cetera. So at first it was called Mr. Nice Guy Productions. Then I found out there was a guy in Dallas named Mr. Nice Guy Productions already. So I was like, oh, well, you know. So after that, I moved to New Orleans. That I met someone named Cairo, and then I started doing videos with him. And then after that, we changed it to Nouveau Riche from a show. It was based off of a show called Neo Yokio, and we looked up I looked up the definition of what Nouveau Riche was, and then after I looked at the definition, I started breaking down the word itself, and I was like, it just resonates to me. So I was like, that makes sense. So we changed the whole name, and then we started building a world and aesthetic behind that, and then yeah, so everything you see, I say it's like a Riche-esque video, you know. So yeah, that's where that name came from.
From where it started to where it is now, I love the aesthetic that you've brought, especially to like the really vivid colors that you have in the videos. I'm like, oh my God, how is he able to bring that out? Like, how are you able to bring that out? And now with like the hyper cuts, the energy that's in the video, mixed with the music, mixed with the angle that you're choosing, whatever effects you're adding on, etc. How long did it take you to, I guess, build out that skill set to be able to do that? Or was it like, you know, I know kind of what I want and I'm just going to practice until I get to it? Or as you were, I guess, learning more about editing, as you were working for the production company, your taste just kind of switched and said, I actually want to do it like this. And now I know how to.
Well, so crazy part about that, like, at first I was always into going in the world and making like turning basically creating a world out of the world that we already live in. You know what I'm saying? By just being outside. So like the best person I like learned from was J. Code. And like we talked on the phone for like hours, especially when I was in New Orleans. I was just learning from how he edit his stuff, you know? And not that I wanted to be like him or like take from him, but I wanted to learn the quality aspect of making those videos look real or like look like or like basically like conjure energy or conjure something that make other people feel what I'm feeling or feel that hype or feel that, you know what I'm saying, just feel whatever I want them to feel. So after talking to him forever, and just learning from here and listen to what he has to say. I just took those advice and just manipulated to what I already had and knew, And then I picked up DaVinci Resolve, and then when I picked up DaVinci Resolve, it just kind of made sense. I was editing on Adobe Premiere Pro since high school. And then once I learned DaVinci, it just kind of like changed everything for me. And when it came to like landscaping the videos, like how I want, like even with the cuts and stuff, if the cuts, I used to do like really slow, long cuts. And I was like, man, let me just chop these down more, let's see how it would go. And then like, I started doing match cuts within those cuts too. And I'm like, oh shit, this looks crazy, And then I just like, I was like, okay, well, let's see if I like take time and like shoot one scene here, shoot one scene a day, and then like let's shoot another scene in the next 2 days. Like let's spend like a month on the videos. Let's see how it works. Like, I just started like really just testing the waters and testing my patience the most, because I be wanting the videos to come out fast. And it was like, well, let's say you be patient with this video. Let's see how it would turn out, And then once I started being more patient, I started thinking more thoroughly of how I want the videos to be, See, because now I'm like actually like looking at each cut, like each small cut, like, okay, let's see what can go right here, or let's see how this will work, or maybe not, or what I'm saying? Like I try to be more intentional, more direct of how I like edit and shoot, especially like shooting wise. I try to make sure I pick locations to where like it might match what I have on, or it might, or I try to pick times of the day so like it just makes sense to like, like this shine, like this spot might glow right here for this exact amount of time. I came out here 2 days ago to see it would shine right here consistently. Okay, it is. Let me just go, shoot right here. You know what I mean? Like I try to be more precise and more intentional now versus back then when I was just doing it just for the fuck of it. Now I'm like, okay, let's be serious.
Okay. The thing you said about patience is crazy. No. The thing you say about patience is actually crazy, because, I fell into not the trap necessarily, but the advice of, well, if you want to grow as a creator online, you need to post consistent videos. So I was like, okay, cool. I got to get out a video a week when it comes to like long form videos, and then daily something short form. And I did that for so long, but I realized that like, okay, with how much time I have in a week, I actually don't have time to plan, record, edit, and post a video every week. Script it if I even want to script it, and then do that every single week. Like, so some videos are just like, I'm just throwing the camera up and riffing, quick edits to cut out any dead silence and me like over talking, and then posting it. And that just felt so bad. Yeah. Like it just feels bad to not have the right quality or the intention or like the like what you wanted to get across, none of it, because you just didn't have time to like, you didn't give yourself time. So I really do think that is like the best move, is finding time to where you can be like, you know what, this season is not about the whole consistency thing. This season is take time, make it really good. Make it really good, or learn how to make it good, and then you can learn how to make it good quickly afterwards. So that's kind of where I'm at right now, where I'm trying to do your patience thing right now, which is tough. I'm a very impatient person.
Yeah, it's just, it took me a while, because I used to be like, I gotta post right now. I have to drop. Like people want to see this, you know what I'm saying? Or I just might be like, let's say I haven't shot in a while. Like I'd be like, oh gosh, I would catch anxiety attacks because I haven't shot nothing or edited nothing or dropped nothing. But I started getting that patience once like I realized that like I'm a artist and not a content creator. Like, I feel like there's a clear difference, about being an artist and just making content, Uh, I think, I look at everything as art, but like when it comes to like videos, like I find videos that are like uh, intentional, very, very progressive versus it being like stagnant. Because I feel like once you just like posting all the time, like things start to get stagnant because you're not giving yourself a chance to like develop or grow or learn new things, right? Or even get inspired, And then I feel like an audience just gets bored of you because they see you all the time. Like I like to have my audience miss me. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you're not going to see a video for like a month, or a few weeks or whatever. But then again, there's times where I go on streaks to where I'm posting like for 2 months straight, just dropping it for y'all. You know what I'm saying? And then I'll go away and learn again and come back. And, like I kind of treat it how like rappers treat the music industry in a way, because like I view dancers as the same way as rappers. They just rap, we just dance. Same, to me, it's the same thing, just in a different form. So it's like I kind of treat it like them in a way. Like I might drop for a minute and then I'll stop and then I'll like learn or try to grow or like collaborate with somebody else, or I do it be behind the scenes work. Like I might work with other people's videos that you never knew I did. I try to keep myself in that world as much as I can, even if I'm not in the forefront or in the back.
Right.
I just try to stay like in it.
No, I like that. I like that a lot. And I mean, you said you moved to DaVinci. MJG put me on DaVinci years ago when I first started creating content in 22. I was doing it on my phone and on Windows Media Player, and then he was like, DaVinci is free. I'm like, oh, dope, because I don't want to pay monthly for Adobe anyway.
Yeah.
And then so he and Canvas put me on DaVinci. Canvas showed me the ropes for like editing his dance content, because he would do that in DaVinci sometimes too. And I was like, okay, cool. You can turn it around. You can make a portrait, or you can add these cool effects on it. Oh, that's really fun. I can change the colors of it. I can go black and white. I can go reds. I can do all this stuff. And then I eventually hit a wall with DaVinci where I was like, things that I want to do, you won't let me do it for free. The things that I want to do. And
my God.
It is like, and this was back when it was like DaVinci like 17 or 16. Right now they're at DaVinci 21. Yes. And a lot of the stuff that used to be paid is now free, which is dope. And I love that for people. I ended up caving and buying the free version, or the paid version, because I was like, I'm gonna keep doing this regardless, even if it's not for content anymore. It's just for me. I'm going to want to keep editing videos to an extent.
Yeah,
I want all these tools. Like I've said this before, where like I don't like editing my videos when they're rushed and just quick edits to get out, because then I don't even allow myself to spend time making them good. But the times when I can spend like 2 hours on a Sunday morning trying to figure out how to make a Fusion edit work, and then it works, and then I can put that in the video, like that video, it can do 5 views, which it kind of did on YouTube. And that shit is still the coolest shit to me.
Yes. See, it's crazy. Like, that's how it be too. It'd be like, I'll find videos that are like, have like 100 views, but it's like the craziest shit you would ever see. And it's like, dang, this one deserves so much more.
Yeah. It sucks to be in that camp of like, man, you're so underrated. And I'm like, I don't need to hear that right now, dog. I don't need to hear that right now, dog.
Oh my God. I got that so much. I get that so much. Like, you're so underrated. I'm like, I wish I could be overrated.
Yeah. I'm trying. I'm trying to be rated first. Okay. Can you rate me averagely first before I'm even overrated at this point? So dude, no, I love DaVinci. I love the whole patience thing. And, in the past, people would say like, do your batch content, even if you're like somebody like you who likes to create things, create them in batches so you can like at least have things to post and then you can go back and do your work and stuff. But, you know, I tried to like batch create content, but I would try to create like 10, 11 videos at a time and then try and post those during the days. And then I would go back and then I would try and do my other stuff. But I was like, that's, to your point, I get no proper reps in because I batch so much that when I'm not batching, I'm not like, you know, I'm away from the creation for like a couple of days. So what I started doing, and that's just been more enjoyable for me, and I think it's actually kind of working, is every weekend I'll create like 6 or 7 videos and it's just over the book stuff anyway. But they're like, it's, you know, I will pick throughout the week, like I want to talk about these things anyway because I've been seeing them. And then I started vibe coding because my brain just likes a little tickle of being able to be a vibe coder. And I coded like a little like a book randomizer where I'll just like feed it an Excel file of all of my books that I read over the past how many years, and it'll just randomize a name for me. So I'm like, so there's so many times because I'm like, I don't know what to talk about. I'm not somebody who can just like sit and or has like endless ideas. But like, give me a topic, give me a little bit of direction, right? I suck at sandboxing, but I love a good storyline game, right? So give me a little bit of direction. This book, okay, cool. I can talk about it for like 30 seconds to a minute, which is really all you need when you're doing short form content. And so I started doing that for the past couple of weeks. I feel great. I'm so mad I never thought of this before. Because I'm to this point, I'm to the point where I'm about to like, you know, have the book randomizer and then add a line of code which just prompts. So okay, cool. This book, this prompt. What can I say in like a minute? Done. Next. This book, this prompt. What can I say in like a minute? Next. And that's for like if I don't have enough things to talk about. Because I found as like somebody who's supposed to be on here talking and commentating, I don't have a lot of things to talk about. Sometimes I just want to be quiet.
I felt that.
But I also want to talk.
I genuinely felt that. Like, I'm really a quiet person in real time because, like, I like, you know what I'm saying? Like, something about I guess it's the duality of it, like being able to, like, switch between, like, hot and cold or calm and loud or even just staying in the middle between those two. Like, I think it's probably, like, a good balance, you know? But I definitely felt that, like not wanting to talk all the time. But like it's like that's when you feel like you gain the most topics and you gain the most ideas, as if you're just by yourself. Like, oh shit, that shit's fine. As soon as you get behind the camera, you're like, oh fuck!
I just was hearing about this yesterday. I think a podcast I was listening to, but they were talking about how it's really difficult. Oh no, it was not even a podcast. I was talking to a speech coach because I've actually I want to fix but improve how I speak just in some ways that I've been insecure about my entire life.
Oh my gosh.
Brethren right here. But I was talking to her and she was like, yeah, you know, a lot of the times you want to appear conversational on camera and you think you're doing it, but at the same time, you're actually being more performative than you are conversational because you're trying to emulate conversation versus actually be conversational and things like that. So I was like, okay, well, you got me. Aha. Yeah. It's me. So I just initially just found somebody to talk to. I'm not sure if I'm going to actually do their program, but it was a good like 20-minute conversation. But that's it, right? Where it's like you don't always have something to talk about, but if you were to be able to talk to somebody about it, you might have something to talk about. Or if you are like you and me, where we're quiet a lot of the times, it's even harder to get on camera, even though you're ready to talk, to be like, what's popping? Like just start talking and riffing and stuff and be casual. Cause you're like, I haven't done this in like a week. Cause the last time I recorded was last week.
Yeah.
Now, what am I supposed to say? All my muscles are like cause the other thing is also conversational on camera still isn't conversational off camera.
Yes. Not the same thing.
You and I are going to talk. I'm going to talk to you slightly differently right now than I would once the camera turns off.
Yeah.
Right. And so all that stuff, I got into trying to be a creator because I wanted to know all these things. It was as my good friend Tim put it, and when I had a podcast with him a couple of weeks ago, a social experiment. And he was like, "Did you become a content creator as a social experiment?" I was like, "Yes, I did, to see if anybody could do it." But
that's real, because that's a lot of people feel like they can do it. It's harder than what people
everybody
think, but also like it's not like it's harder, but it's not. It's very interesting because if we look at regular work, that shit's hard. Like a regular 9 to 5, it's the work itself isn't hard, but it's the consistency of how long you're doing that work is what makes it hard. You see what I'm saying? So like it's like with content creation, it's more like a gamble. It's more like a lottery. It's more like
it is a very lucky thing to excel in. Where yeah.
No. I was gonna let you finish.
What I was gonna say is the consistency of the thing here. So there's two things, right? In creation, you have to be consistent. Nobody's forcing you to be consistent. You have no paycheck. You have no schedule that you're supposed to clock in and clock out of. So you have to be the one to control that. So if you're not an accountable person or a consistent person, you're already at a deficit. I am example number A. I'm a very inconsistent person. And then the next thing is it's a very lucky thing. So even if so everybody can create things, but not everybody can become a creator where you are consistently getting paid and making a living off of this and or a luxury off of this, because you have to. And there are a lot of people out there that say it's a science. It's not lucky. Everybody knows that's bullshit. That's just trying to get you in the door. There is a level of luck involved with the algorithms or the systems picking up your content. Now, if you generated the content in a way that once it gets picked up, it is pushed more, cool. That's where the science is involved, and you got lucky enough to get picked up, and then you got pushed. But if you never get lucky enough to get picked up, or if you're not good enough, so even if you might have had a chance to get picked up, it didn't go anywhere because it wasn't good enough. And the third thing is, it's very facetious in the way that it's portrayed to you, because people online have like 500K followers and all they do is put their phone in their car and go fit check in the morning, and it's just like random dude or woman .png .mp4 on like a cam, and that's it. But they have 500K, and then you have people who like this whole like this whole production value of it, really making it look good, sound good, etc. It feels more inauthentic to the camera and maybe to a viewer, because you're like, oh, you're putting in so much work, you're trying too hard. That guy was didn't do anything. He just put his phone up but I wanted to watch, that person wanted to watch that more. It's very facetious when you think like there's so many ways to do it, but not always work for everybody else. Because I wouldn't be able to do that. I wouldn't be able to do that.
What's crazy? I think how, because I know what you're talking about. Like I know exactly what you're talking about, because I feel like that's like streamers in a nutshell, to where like a lot of people who stream, they like it's a lot of these streamers have like $100,000 setups, you know what I'm saying? And they like, for example, like people look at Kai and Tyleel and all these guys. These guys are funded and are promoted by Twitch themselves. You know what I'm saying? It's a difference when you like decide to pick up a laptop or a camera and stream yourself. You're not going to see like 100 views. You're going to see one view for at least 6 months before you even like see 20 or 50 or 100. You know what I mean? Like it's like it's different. Like I guess with celebrities, they have so much push and so much things. Like they have a whole team. They have a team of people that do everything for them. So only thing they have to do is literally set their camera up or set their phone up. Not even the camera, set their phone up and just talk, and then boom. And they might send it to someone else, and they might edit it and post it for them. Post it for them. You know what I'm saying? And versus someone like you or me, to where like we're doing everything by ourselves. So we're like, we are doing the lighting, we are doing the microphones, we are setting up the camera, we are setting up the laptop, the live stream, we are setting up the background. You know what I'm saying? Like, we're doing everything ourselves. Like, and I feel like it's like a difference. Like, social media is so like facade itself. It's a facade itself, to where like all these guys they might be fucking bought to fucking those. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Like they look very raw and natural on the camera, which because they're just there talking with their boys, and they're they got the webcam view on them and all that stuff. Or like some people still wear their like headsets and pretend like they're talking through like their headset mics and stuff to try and like show that they're still humble and all that stuff. But at the same time, they still have mods in the back that are like, stream going up, how's his mic, how's his audio, how is like how's the chat running, all that stuff, right? Now, to your point, most of these people at some point they probably did do that themselves. I think really respecting timeline of like, if you're lucky, it's quicker climb for you to that type of teamwork, and if you're not lucky, you're going to be doing it solo for 3 years, 4 years, 5 years, always type of thing, right? This year I experimented with paying somebody else to do just the smallest thing, like thumbnails and SEO for the videos, just to see, okay, cool. People say this is important. Mentally, I can't create a good thumbnail, like a YouTube catchy thumbnail, whatever it is. I just don't want to spend time on that. I want to spend time on the camera, my content, all that stuff. Paid somebody else to do it. It was good. And I just recently actually just like stopped working with that person when I stopped uploading weekly. But I was like, okay, cool. But this is also expensive to do. Like you have to be comfortable knowing that I'm spending money, getting nothing back, trying to figure this out. But this is the first year that I was like not doing everything myself. I still recorded myself, edited myself. All the stuff is myself. Maybe uploading a thumbnail somebody else. That doesn't tie directly to the little rectangle viewfinder right here. And I still fucking have issues. Bro, Heartless, the amount of fucking time I have audio issues with the amount of time I've spent in audio over the past year. Fuck audio. Fuck audio. Because
that's
why?
Into it.
It's
too much wires and plugins.
Bro, yeah.
For me. Too many wires and plugins. Like, so I can't do it.
Yesterday I was doing like the bulk, like yesterday's recording was like I bulked a couple of short form videos to post, and I recently got a shotgun mic for my camera just to like once again experiment with like, I've had the lavs, I've had the studio mic, etc. How do I feel with a shotgun mic? Like there's nothing on me that shows your recording or your audio is good, but the shotgun mic. I plugged the microphone, I plugged the cord into the camera correctly. But tell me why, when I was plugging the other side of the cord into the mic, I put it into the headphone jack and not the mic out port. So all of those now. You'd be like, Arish, well, weren't you looking at your viewfinder to see if your audio like levels were going up and down as they usually are on the viewfinder? I was like, you know what? Maybe I wasn't, because I was too engrossed in wanting to record videos. So then after I was done, and I was like, I looked at my camera and I was like tapping the mic. I was like, why is that thing not going green? Where did those green boxes go? And then I was like, okay, cool. No fucking audio on that. And then I re-recorded all of them. The amount of times I had to re-record recently because of shit like that, like, it's so funny. I've tried to become more patient with it, but it makes me so angry when I have all this stuff set up, and with one of the podcasts I did in the past, Riverside was not picking up this mic, it was picking up the camera mic. Why? But I want to, okay. So I want to get back to you. I want to actually ask, so with the production company, you've been working with a lot of cool people. Like I saw the videos you posted with Child. I see all the videos you posted with the crew in Dallas, like those group ones, the individual ones, all that stuff. Is there like a niche or a type of clientele that you're trying to like develop? Or are you just more like, this is the style of video that I want to do, and that style is applicable across multiple industries? Or are you trying to stay within certain industries?
So that's a very good question. When it comes to people that I work with, like I like to work with people with that's like minded like me. I feel like that's when I give out the best content. You know what I'm saying? When I'm collabing with someone and they get it right here too. You know, and but I also like to take challenges too. Like I also like to challenge myself. Like I'm big on that. Like so, I try to like take like clients who don't dance, really, who don't dance, who don't rap, who don't do no arts. I try to get like chefs and like barbers. Like I want to do content for them in a way. Like in reality, short films is really what I want to do. You know what I'm saying? Like that's really that's real for me. So like, but when it comes to like working with different people, I try to do all the work only because I trust myself. Like, it's not that I don't trust these people, but like, okay, think about like being in high school and you're in science class and like, and your teacher's like, well, form a group to do a science project. You know what I'm saying? And we're going to present this project for the whole world, right? Or not whole world, but for the room, right? I'm the type of person to where I would take the science fair over, like the science project over, and just do it because I trust myself to where like I know that if I do it, it's gonna be an A. You know what I'm saying? So like sometimes I might like this person. I'm like, you know what? Let's collaborate. Just dance. You don't gotta touch the camera. You don't gotta edit nothing. Just dance for this many times. I'll do all the work. You know what I'm saying? Like I'll make sure it's fire. You know what I'm saying? Like I just like to just take over and yeah. I just like to take over shit. Like so because I might have ideas that I know is gonna be amazing. Like or like I just know in that moment like this has to be done. You know what I'm saying? I'm sorry for whatever ideas you got, but we got to do this right now, right this moment. So
I mean, that type of confidence, I think, lends itself to a really strong vision. The entire time you were saying that, in my head, I was like, I'm learning so much about Heartless right now. I fuck with this so heavy. He's the exact fucking opposite of me. Because when it comes to these things, I don't trust myself. Like, I would rather be the guy dancing and doing nothing else, and then somebody else takes over all of the production, even though I know how to do it. And maybe if I did it, it would still look good. For some reason, my brain always says, they'll probably do it better than me. I could be fire at it. They'll probably do it better than me. I'll just let them do it type shit. And so I like that a lot. And I think that's the correct attitude needed for you having started your own production company, like done all this work, right? Like you need that kind of attitude of, I have the vision, I have the skill set, I have the expertise, I can make it really good. You just need to let me cook. Instead of like telling somebody, well, we could do it like this, or how much of involvement you want, you can have, or being very collaborative almost. Sometimes you need to just be like, no. We do this work together. You're the subject. I'm the producer in the back. I will make sure you're good. And then going and doing it. That's fucking dope, dude. Like, I don't know if you understand how crazy that level of confidence is, but that's dope.
I appreciate it. I appreciate that. A lot of times I do let people, you know what I'm saying, give me ideas or sit next to me while I edit, you know, and like they'll critique or give us ideas or like, you know what I'm saying? But like for the most part, I just be like, just shut up. Just let me just work. because like because like I don't know, like it's like man, I grew up watching a lot of TV and movies, and like I have so much, like basically the whole duality thing is so real to me because as much as I spent time inside, I spent time outside too as a kid, like, you know what I'm saying? So but like when I was inside, oh my God, the shows and the movies I watched were so I don't know, genius, and I wanted to like, and sometimes these movie scenes would come up in mid shooting or in mid, like, you know what I'm saying, or mid like when I'm doing the thing, and I'd be like, oh shit, I just remember this shit. Oh yeah, I got it. What is it? Oh, I got to remake it, you know. And a lot of people don't really think like that, or like a lot of people don't think like me in general. A lot of people don't think like each other, really, in all honesty. But like when it comes to me, I get references in my head on a daily basis to where like I cannot be like I just cannot not let that slide. You know what I'm saying? Like I just cannot let that go away. And a lot of people are not going to. If I explain the idea to someone else or to whoever I'm working with, they're not going to get it because they probably never seen this show. They probably never seen this movie. They probably don't know who the fuck this director is. They probably never, you know what I'm saying, like studied this. So I'm just going to just do it. You know what I'm saying? Because I know what I'm looking for. I know what's going to be good right here. So let me just let me cook. Or sometimes people might give me something like an idea or something, and I might think about something else on the idea that's going to amplify this idea, and I'm like, you're a genius. I'm gonna take this, boom, and I'm gonna just blow it up, and then like, boom, now we have something, you know. But it's like I don't know. I like doing the work. I honestly like editing and shooting and like being able to like spend time in it because like I don't know, like it's like being a scientist in a way. Like you get to experiment on your own. You get to form a hypothesis. You get to test it out. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes it might take you 2 hours, 5 hours. Sometimes it may take you a week to figure that one thing out. But I like doing it. So I don't mind taking the whole project for myself. And I have worked with other videographers and editors who I'm like, who sometimes we go back and forth. We're like, I might hop on it for like 20 minutes. I might hop off. He might hop on it for 20 minutes and like, you know what I'm saying? Do it like that. And I might pick up from wherever he picked up from and just like, you know, so I do have collaborative ways with certain people. That's just if I trust that person's vision or creativity enough, you know. But yeah, it gets I
like it. No, I do too. I think there's the whole thing when you're starting to create art where you try not to fall in the pit of what art does someone else want to see from me versus what art do I want to create. Because you could easily go into the pitfall of what does my audience want? I'll just make that, and then you burn yourself out, whatever it is, right? Or you stop enjoying it. The stuff that I realize I want to make with like the book stuff is not always just sit here, talk about books, even though most people online will just be sit here, talk about books. Like my brain says, make it a whole like edited production of like, I want to sit here. You see the book on my, like, I'm just going to say the idea here and maybe it'll spur me into action, or maybe I'll say it here and it'll never happen again. But at least I brought it out into the world. So I want to sit here with a book, right? And I want to be like, you know what? We're going to go inside this book and the book's going to fall on the table. And you're going to see like that, like my body warping into the book, and the camera's going to pan to the book. And you're going to see me on the surface of the cover, like walking across the cover of the book. Like, look at this, look at this, look at this. Book's going to flip open. All right, we're on like specific pages that I've pulled out of the book that I want to walk on the page and be like, yo, this section, look at this quote, dog. This shit, when I was reading it, that, yes. And like that's what I want to do. But like, you know, my brain's like, okay, cool. If you want to do that, you can't have any distractions. Like, because my mind has to be so focused on that for me to bring it to fruition. Otherwise, any little distraction is going to make me like drop it immediately. Because it's such a large thing. I have to get a green screen. I need to figure out how to do it. All these effects.
Yeah. I said just get a green screen. Yeah. That's the whole problem right there.
Exactly. And so that's just the whole thing. And I'm like, well, damn. But recently, like this year was the whole, you know, I was challenging myself because last year I stopped doing content altogether for like the bulk of the year until like November, December. And I was like, you know what? I still want to do it. So I'm bringing it back. And the whole goal for this year was, you know what? If we hit 1,000 subscribers on YouTube, finally, great. That's hard. I'm stuck at 800 something on the book channel. I'm only like 50 something on this channel.
Oh, you're going crazy.
I'm not. I promise you, I'm not. You know why? Because I've had this book channel since 2022. So it's just been over the span of 3 years trying to hit the 1,000. But given 2024, I stopped for almost the entire year. But like, I've barely gained 100 this year. Now, to your point, you said that was crazy. That's the exact attitude to have. My brain kills me.
461 subscriber.
That's fucking fire still. And see, I can tell you that, and I can believe it, but I can't tell myself that. That's kind of the curse of people with minds like mine. And the whole idea was forget any metrics. Your goal is to upload a video every week. Just prove to yourself that you can be consistent. The podcast every week, a video. That's been great. Book channel, a couple of weeks I missed only because I was like, I don't know what to fucking say to talk about books. Like, I generally don't want to sit here and talk about books this week. And if I do that, it's going to be disingenuous. So I didn't. And then by the end of like August, I was like, I'm just not enjoying talking about books weekly because I'm not talking about it in the way that I want to. Because there's such low production things.
That's real. That's a lot of people don't understand how real that what you just said.
Even doing it weekly, it's not hard. It's like a 30 to 40 minute video, and I rant, which means I can talk about books. But I also, what I think a lot of people don't realize, and you know, to put it on the record, I'm gonna sit up straight for this shit. To put it on the record, people don't realize how important comment sections are to creators. Because when you create a video and it goes into the void and nobody ever tells you about it, the onus is on you to either watch it back or to send it to somebody for feedback or anything like that, right? For you to be like, how can I make this better? Because nobody watched it or said anything. No matter how many times you're like, what are you reading this week? Let me know what you're reading this week in the comments. Let me know what you thought about these books if you read these books in the comments. Any of that stuff, right? Nobody will say anything.
They just watch. They just watch.
They just watch. And that'd be cool if more people watch. But if I just get like 25 views on a video and then also no one said anything, it's like, okay, cool. I generally don't know what was wrong with this video. Wrong, per se, in quotes. But I don't know what was different from this one and the one that came before it, which may have gotten like 100 plus, right?
Yeah.
I don't know the difference. Therefore, I just have to make the next one. But as someone who likes to progress, likes to improve, I don't know what to improve on. I'm not the person who only does the popular things. I'm not going to read all the popular books because they're also dog shit. I'm going to read books that are really good and tell you about them. So I have a longer timeline. Regardless, this is not me getting on a soapbox. I just like to make sure that people know these things. That's the whole reason why I became a creator. Everybody can do it. You got to understand these pitfalls that people won't tell you about.
On what you said, I definitely go to war with myself about that a lot, right? But I had to because I dropped the video last night, and it's doing what you said, that what you just said, that's what's going on right now. And I thought the video was fire, right? But I
saw that one earlier today. Yeah, that shit was fire.
Yeah, I appreciate you. Yeah, and I had to really realize and take a step back and realize that okay, for example, I listened to Tyler, the creator. I listened to him hard, way before he got famous and got mainstream. I'm talking about, I listened to him back in early 2010. So I watched his whole career play out, right? So homie has so many tracks, so many songs that are fire, but people today don't even know that they exist. Or you know what I'm saying? But it makes me feel good because you have to really fuck with this person to know this song. You know what I'm saying? I don't really fuck with this person to know this song. So it's and I kind of try to try to translate that to myself, because I have so many videos that people have not seen or noticed, you know what I'm saying? But I have videos that went crazy that people still bring up today. But it's those videos that are so big that people still are or people might see me in public that video was crazy. I'm you seen this?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
It's but see, that's the thing, right? When you get that type of in-person also interaction, boom, inspired for the next one. But it's just getting that right. And I feel you have to be the type of person who's okay with putting shit into the void and not getting any response back and keep going until you get a response back. Or it's just may not work for you, right? It may not be the thing that you want to do. Another thing I've noticed, which I've been trying to reframe my mind about, is it's very simple, right? It's keep it simple, stupid. It's people won't know what you do unless you tell them what you do. So many people oh, you have a podcast? People who I know, people who who follow me on Insta, and I share every single one of my episodes on Insta and every single one of the clips on there and everything like that. They're oh, you have a podcast? And I'm yeah, I love doing it, etc. Right? But people just don't know. And you can't be upset at that. And then all you can do is control your own inputs, right? And then you can think, okay, well, am I talking about it enough? Maybe I have to talk about it 7 times more than I think for one person to even know that I do it. And so it's you have to be your own advocate. And for someone for anybody who's insecure or doesn't have the loudest voice or doesn't have the most confidence in themselves, that is the downfall of or not the downfall, but that's just one of the obstacles to get across, is you have to talk about yourself often. Every day you got to talk about yourself, if not more than once a day, and that's where the clips come in, right? That's why doing this once a week within having clips that go up every day or multiple times a day helps. So I don't have to go and talk about it, but here's a video that's from this thing, which is emulating me talking about it. I have a podcast. Here's a clip from it. If you want to watch the full video, you go here. I share it on as much as I can. And then, but yeah, I noticed that just it's going back to the thing, I just was having such a bad time recording videos that I didn't enjoy. I was I'm just going to take a step back and only record right now towards this end of the year, stuff that I want to record. So I'll record reviews that people send me, books to review or whatever it is. I'll post and that way I can make a quick 8, 10, maybe 12-minute video. Boom, done, uploaded, next. And then my brain has been more free to think about what are these bigger projects that I want to do. There's there's a back in high school, no, back in middle school, there was this book series that I read. One sec, do I have it here? I do. There's this book series I read, right? It's called Warriors. It's Catfolk. There's like 6 or 8 like fucking series of it. And my buddy and I were so addicted to this series that we made like little on pieces of like notebook paper. We like made little trading cards like type things. Like here's the name, here's their attack and their power and everything. We made like a little like a TCG map. And I've always thought like, can I bring that to life just for myself? So the idea there is take, to the extent that I can, right? Like even, and this is like an officially like released book from the series of like, here's like the actual images of a lot of the characters in the novels. You think I'm going to put this on a trading card? It's possible. I'm just learning now that, okay, I have this idea. It's actually possible because it's actually not hard to just put this into Affinity or Canva, create the card, print it out on like clear paper and holographic paper. Boom. And this is just for me. It's not for sale or anything like that, right? But I was like, wait.
It's just the fact that it's just being a fan of it, and you're like,
yes,
I need this in my life. Yeah,
exactly. I don't even have to make the art myself. In this case, I would, or I'd pay somebody to do it. But then that just be like the creator in me is like, you can't. There's parts of me where I'm like, sometimes I like to use AI for things, but when it comes to art, I don't. I used to. To put on the record, I used to, but I was like, I actually don't like using AI for art. It doesn't feel the same. I'd rather pay somebody to make it, and it feels more genuine that way.
You know what's crazy? Like, I never use AI, but a lot of people tell me I should use AI.
I would only use it to make things easier in the editing process. Like that's what I use it for. Like I use on the podcast sometimes like AI generated clips or AI generated like show notes. So I know like everything that was said. So I don't have to go back through and pull out in a whole video all the timestamps and all that stuff, right? Or things like that. Or if you're making a video and, you know, they have like plugins for DaVinci now where, depending on the kind of video you're making, they have like podcast plugins where it'll just cut up everything for you. Whoever's talking.
I got some of those.
Like that, right? So like those plugins are cool and they do use advanced intelligence in a sense. What I don't use is AI generated like thumbnails or AI generated images to put into things. I also don't do a lot of B-roll, which I've been told that you would really enhance your videos if you had B-roll or different sets, not just here B-roll, talking to one camera. Like B-roll, like I could never wrap my head around B-roll because I just come here, sit and talk, which means I have to do something else to have the B-roll. Which means I have to think about B-roll throughout the week if I want to like include it in a video and then edit it in and all that stuff.
Don't lie. You can make B-roll so simple. Like I love using B-roll.
Okay. How? You know what? Instead of me just talking about my problems, actually, you tell me how. And somebody else listening might also have the same problem. Okay, so for example, I'm gonna use your videos for example, like B-roll. So basically, if I was to do videos about what you do, right? About books, how I would go about it is one, I'll make a whole script. I would make 2 separate videos. One video, it would be me in front of camera talking, of course, about whatever. And then I'll make a voiceover of me saying the same exact shit on another thing. And then the B-roll would be like me shooting the book or me like shooting my books or me like even just getting coffee, like holding that book, like just showing that I have this book that I'm talking about. And showing the pages, showing like the illustration while I have the voice over me talking behind that, right? So it would just be just different things that would just keep the audience focused while I'm talking. But it's gonna show the book in every clip. You know what I'm saying? Like the book might be outside, just in a specific place, but the fact that it looks good right here, that's a B-roll shot in itself.
or the fact that the book is by, okay, for example, you know how like you can put the tripod on top, have a coffee on your left hand side, have the book on the right hand side, have a meal in you know what I'm saying, and that alone is the B-roll shot of you talking about the book. You know what I'm saying? Like it's just whatever shots that you think look cool as shit or might be aesthetically pleasing to yourself, those would be B-roll shots that I would take, or like, you know what I'm saying, or like whatever shots that corresponds with the story that you're offering would be the B-roll shots. You know what I'm saying? If that makes sense. But yeah, I shoot a lot of B-roll.
I don't. I'm so
like
bad at it.
Cool. I like to look cool, so I shoot B-roll for that reason. Like, because dancing all the time is just not. It's cool, but it's not always fun to watch all the time. Like a lot of these people dance videos, I'd be like, "There's so much dancing, not enough."
Man, in a dance video, there's way too much dancing in my dance video. There's way too much water in my Pokemon Gen 3 Hoenn region video game. Like, oh my gosh.
But it's like okay, for example, I feel like what makes Pikachu cool is that Pikachu doesn't have to use electricity all the time to win fights. You know what I'm saying?
Right, he gets Iron Tail. Yeah.
Exactly. You know what I'm saying? He has quick dash, Iron Tail. You know what I'm saying? Like he has some more too, but it's like as someone that dance, yeah, I make a dance video, but it doesn't have to be every clip doesn't have to be me dancing. Like I could flex, I can show my fit off, I can show where I'm at, I can like put some lifestyle into it because I can put personality into it, like my own person into these dance videos. Because like it's like if I'm just dropping just a regular dance video, what is the difference between me and someone that dance that do the same shit too? You know what I'm saying? Like at some point, I gotta put myself into it too. Like it just doesn't always have to be about dance. That's how I realized too. I used to make sure every clip was dance videos. Now I'm be like, if I'm just sitting down in a chair, it looks cool. Fuck it, let's go to the video. You know what I'm saying? Or like, let's say if I'm shopping and they catch that on camera, oh, that's going in the video because it just brings another dynamic and character to whatever video I'm making. You know?
Yeah.
So
I like that.
Yeah.
I like that. I'm gonna pause this there because I could talk about creating content for probably like 10 hours a day every single day. And I try not to do that because I feel like people who actually listen to this podcast hear me rant about this shit too often. Every time I talk to somebody who also creates content, we start getting on a tangent. I did this, like when I was talking to Zach, we had a 2-hour plus podcast because we were just talking about shit like this.
I know content gets crazy.
The details inside of it get crazy. The nuances get crazy. So I do want to go back to you and I want to ask, we had talked about kind of like the clientele you're trying to build and everything like that, or who are the people you're trying to work with. What's your goal with the company, right? Like, are you, and like, I'm going to direct this question a little bit. Tell me realistically, like, what is your goal with it? Are you trying to make it like a local thing? Are you trying to go national with it? Are you trying to go like realistically, where do you think this will go, or where are you trying to push it?
So realistically, to be completely honest, like the whole Nouveau Riche Entertainment thing, it's something that like I'll look at it as a way. I don't want to sound crazy, but I feel like it's something that in the future is going to save art. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm not really trying to shoot people's content for forever. Really, I want to make movies. That's real to me. I want to make shows like TV shows. That's real to me. You know what I'm saying? Like, I want to have a business, well, an entertainment company to where like the art that we produce is what generates the money. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, doing videos for people, like, I can market my ass off. I can make marketing schemes, marketing videos for people all the time. But when it comes to like the Nouveau Riche production or like the entertainment, I really want the movies and films and short films and TV shows to make that real. Like the art. I want the art to what generates the content for what generates money for us. You know, that's going to be in the future. Like, that's why it's taking forever. And the reason why I'm doing content for people is really just to make money right now. You know what I'm saying? It's not really something that's like, I find sustainable for real. I mean, it's easy, but like, I mean, I don't want to give so much of myself to other people. Like, I'd rather keep that within, you know, and get people that are like-minded or that are hungry as well to be a part, you know. Like, I think I was told not to talk about this. I'm not gonna go too deep about it, but I feel like the modern day art is not. I feel like it's bullshit. You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like we lost so much creativity and so much authenticity within our arts. You know what I'm saying? That it's kind of scary. So
no, I agree with you. No, we can
Yeah.
actually we can talk about that because I can give you multiple examples, not just from the US, right? Even in India, and I think about this a lot because I grew up on Bollywood music. I grew up on all these Bollywood movies, and nowadays, a lot of the movies you see coming out are like heavy action based. They're heavy on the aesthetic. They're the music, because Bollywood songs are so iconic for evoking a lot of emotion, even if it's fun or sad, romantic, whatever it is. A lot of remakes are happening. A lot of like re-releases, sequels, etc., but not a lot of original content is being produced lately, because it just feels like everything you're seeing is a rendition of something that's already been done. Or like, you know, a movie right now is just a remake of one that was like there in the 70s or some shit like that. Or like a song you hear right now is just sampling a song from like the 2000s, even though like sampling itself is a type of art and, you know, trying to like expand upon an already existing idea. But a lot of the art that currently is so recycled. And I also think it's because so many more people have access to making art or attempting to make art, whether it's in the form of like films or content or YouTube videos or music or whatever it is. There's just so much more noise where really unique art can get buried in what is the most popular, the most viral, the most like, currently happening, quote unquote art. And so I agree with you. I think art recently has been very diluted, very bland, which is why, like, you know, when I say like I love the vivid colors in your videos, is because I love looking at the vivid colors like on screen. You know, I watch a lot of YouTube videos. I watch a lot of podcasts. I watch a good amount of streams and stuff. I do also live in the content space to an extent in terms of as a consumer, and I love the ones where there's colors, there's contrast, there's like character. The reason why I love the Chris Williamson's podcast over a lot of others is because he likes playing with cinematic lighting. He likes playing with angles and how crisp it is, and he does spend the money to make them look really good. But to me, like his podcast, he also brings art into the podcast where he like his sets are so interesting and so nice to look at, not just listen to, where somebody like, you know, where most podcasts are just like in that little corner office and one person sitting across from the other with a Shure mic on a mic stand in front of you and just like talking and stuff. And you know, the conversation is great and I still enjoy it, but the visual aspect of it is lost because it's just two people having a conversation in person, but there's no like visual intrigue. And so I got this little lamp here because we know every time I move, I try and remake the set of sorts. And by set, I mean whatever's in my background, just because I'm like, this is the first year where like I understood lighting, I understood framing, I understood the background, I understood all these things. But like I feel that there is something lost because, and maybe, you know, I've actually heard it put this way where in terms of like a visual art, if we're just using like a focus, an example, people like there's so much overly edited, overly engineered content in the past that people really just like the original, whatever's on your phone, raw, not like raw file. Seeing that, people like that more because it feels more authentic, feels more natural, etc. And the edited, colored, studio look isn't what people want. They don't always want the mic. They want the echoey thing coming out of the phone, etc. Like they want to hear like this excess background sounds and stuff. And so
that's actually, it's crazy that you said that. I was watching something about Exentacion. The thing was like a couple of weeks ago, but there was like it's crazy because him and Ski Mask, they made songs. They were shooting their songs off a wired headphones with Fruity Loops or a Garage Band, right? It was something. I think it was Garage Band. They were making beats off Garage Band before they switched over to FL Studio. But it was like everything, all the songs that they dropped at first weren't not high production. It was actually like bad mixing. Like the mixing wasn't great. The sound compared to instrumentals, the levels wasn't mesh well. Like, but those songs blew up. Those songs were crazy. And then when Look at Me dropped, the cover was just Rojos as a kid have a blunt in his nose, and it was like it was an iPhone picture, but it was the cover of the song, and over 1 million people seen that cover, and it was like, and I feel like it kind of, and then Tyler is also big on, well, not Tyler, but I feel like that changed the landscape of how artists view art, because it's like we see this kid that's dropping music and dropping covers and dropping pictures, but they're not like high quality. He's not using a Canon R5. He's not using like a Snowball. You know what I mean? Like Mike, he's using his iPhone, a cheap ass laptop, and his earphones to make music, and it's like everyone loves it. You know, like it's. I really feel like people like that generate a cult following, and it can be able to take something out. I mean, take nothing out of something. To take nothing and make it out of something. But also, but I feel like at some point in time, like needing, you want your production to go up. I mean, at some point, you know what I'm saying? Like me, I'm not. I mean, I try to do both. I like having high production videos, but I also like having like that low quality for people who don't like seeing it all the time. You know what I'm saying? Who might just like, you know what I'm saying? Like, but I try to make sure like it's something, like it's always something that I like at the end of the day too. You know, because I watch my page 24/7. Like I don't know how anyone else is, but like me, I watch my videos 1,000 times. Like
every so often, I'll just go into TikTok, go into Instagram. I'm like, let me look at the video that I just posted, etc. Whenever I post whenever I like actually record myself dancing and actually post it, I'm like, I don't go back into my necessarily like the social media app to watch it. I'll just go back into my photos app. I'm like, let me look at that again. Damn, that shit was nice.
It's crazy. I do both. Like I think I just could see, like I would go on my gallery. Yeah. I was like, oh shit, that's tough. let me see how this looks on Instagram. I go
Mm-hmm.
on Instagram, I'm like,
I
okay,
just watched the same thing.
And then I'll see on my story, like, I'll post on my story, I was like, let's watch on my story. Let's see how this goes. Cause I like to decorate my IG stories and shit. So I'd be like, let's see how this look with all the pictures and shit. Oh, it's
Yep.
so fire.
Yep.
I get it. Yeah.
I like it. I get it. But nah, dude, I agree with you. Like, I am not well versed in the totality of the art sphere to know the direction that we're going. I do just hope that we're, we were so far on one end with the hyper edited. Now we're so far on the other end with how raw we want everything to look, IRL content, all that stuff with streaming and stuff, right? I would like to come back to like something in the medium where people do enjoy both. So that people who like to make the studio, like high production stuff, have the opportunity to get their stuff in front of people more, and don't feel forced like, man, I have to water down my shit for people to like it, because so many people are like, just doing the raw stuff. But at the same time, I do want people who are doing the raw stuff to be like, okay, if I try and do a higher production, I don't want to lose my audience. I don't want to lose all this stuff that I built up, etc. So I'd like to see us get to a happy medium. I think it could work, and I think I've done both on my account for so long that, and I've had mild success on both ends, that I'm like, I think I'm just gonna do this. I'm gonna put my camera up. I'm gonna make it vertical. I'm gonna turn on my shotgun mic. I'm gonna do whichever mic I want to use. I'm gonna have my 2 lights, and we're just gonna go. And then we're just gonna talk. And I'm just gonna stick to what I want. And then I'm gonna put into DaVinci and put that color grading on it and shit. Yeah. And it's make it look all nice and warm, nice and cozy. In one of the past videos, I think I was trying not to be too manipulative, but I had commented on your video to let you know that like I'm watching. So then when I do message you, when I message you afterwards to ask you to come on the podcast, it wasn't going to be like, oh, he just wants to like get on the podcast. He doesn't really want to like talk to me or whatever it is. I was like, I'm not trying to be all business and transactional. I do actually like the videos, but I also want to talk to you on the podcast. So I'd asked you, and this is a genuine question of mine, because I'm too fucking socially anxious for this. How you're comfortable recording outside, and doing all these movements outside on a sidewalk or on the corner or on in like the alley and whatever it is, or all that stuff. And it's not like, yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And you had said, I think you said something to the extent of like, you were bullied as growing up or whatever it is. You're a bit desensitized to like what people think. You're just doing what you want to do.
Yeah.
So talk to me about that a little bit. How did you develop this thicker skin to be able to do things what you want to do in the public without having like the concept of like somebody else's eye on you?
So I just put like this, like since I could talk.
Come back in the frame. You're over here in this like bottom, this like corner right here. I'm like, I can't see anything on there right now.
Yeah, I'm the lobby on that. But so since I could talk, I stuttered. Right? I mean, obviously it's much better now, but back when I was a kid, it was horrible. Like I had to literally slap my leg every time I wanted to get like a word out. Like that's how bad it was. I couldn't get a single sentence out. It was horrible. But so imagine being in school since pre-K, kindergarten, first grade, second grade, so on. Like I took speech therapy for basically my whole school like life until I got into high school. But yeah, it's like so every time I open up my mouth, people laughed at me. Like people laughed, people made fun of me. Like it wasn't like a like, you know what I'm saying? I always got picked on for it. So like And then, and I played sports too. So like, thinking about how sports was, same shit. Everything's the same shit, really. So I didn't really like. So I felt insecure for a while. I mean, of course, naturally, like I hated myself for a long time, because of it. But luckily, I grew up with like skateboarding being like something that's like a prominent thing in my life. I love skateboarding hard. I love skateboarding, and seeing those kids and seeing those people just be in public and just hurting themselves in real time, like hurting themselves, like falling in public. The thing that people are naturally afraid of doing, like, or people have anxiety of going outside of doing, they do this with ease, with no issue. And like, and me, I just took pride in seeing them do that. So I correlate that to real time. So when dance started to be like a thing that started to come into my life, for real, I fell in love with it. Like, there's nothing that could stop me. So like, if I'm going to allow people to stop me from dancing, that's outrageous. Like that's just crazy. Like, I don't care what people say, they're not going to scare me away from doing this, because this is tough. Like, I love doing it. Like, I do it at home. I do it in my bathroom. I do it when I'm eating. I do it when I'm walking. I do it in school. I do, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's like, at some point, like, I started learning the language dance is a language. Like, you know what I'm saying? I started learning a whole nother language, and people started to understand me through movement more than they do my own voice, which is interesting.
Do you think it's because your body wouldn't stutter the same way your voice would, so you were able to, like, communicate a bit more clearly?
I feel like it's more like a brain thing. I feel like, in speech therapy, they'll tell you that, like, well, sometimes your brain is going faster than your mouth, or than like what you're speaking. So you'll stumble over your words, So they'll tell you to slow down, right? Mm-hmm. Well, I tried slowing down talking, and I still fucking stuttered, right? And then as I got older, I realized, like, it's, they definitely helped a lot with, like, navigating with my tempo and my flow, but it was the flow thing it was a flow part of it that stuck out to me. Because, like, right now I'm not stuttering because I'm flowing through my words to be able to basically get it out, right? So in dance, I kind of started doing the same thing. Like, once I started dancing, like, it's not that my brain is slowing down or speeding up. It's gathering a flow to be able to convey whatever I'm thinking together. Like, you know what I'm saying? So, like, it's like, once my frequency is, like, doing this, I can be able to, I end up stuttering, right? Yeah. Or, like, I end up, like, tripping up. But if I'm like, you know what I'm saying? It starts to make sense. Yeah. It starts to come out clear, you know?
Yeah. It's not just about slowing down. It's about developing your pace of how you need to speak, like, with the flow you need in order to speak clearly.
And I figured that out through dance.
Okay.
Like, that's which is crazy. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I spent probably 12 years in speech therapy. I mean, those things help, don't get me wrong. But, like, it didn't click to me until I got into dance. And I realized that, like, because, like, I'm still thinking when I'm dancing. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Some things might be subconscious. A lot of things are subconscious. But, like, once I'm, like, actually in it, I'm like, okay. I started realizing that, like, I am flowing in a way that, like, if I can just put this into my speech, oh my God. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Like, it would help. And so, like, I started talking. I mean, I read a lot of books as a kid. So, like, that was also a thing too. But, yeah. So nowadays, fuck it. I just be everywhere with it.
Yeah. I mean, at this point, you got to own it, right? You got to own that, like, you've already done the work to make it good. If it happens, that's just as natural as a quote unquote person, like a person who speaks quote unquote normally, also stammering over their words. It's the same exact thing at that point. It's not even like, there's nothing to be, even to yourself, ashamed or insecure about. I had the same thing in growing up. I've met one other person who ever had a stammering problem, and his, and to your point, like when you said, in high school, I witnessed this guy get ridiculed so much. He was a bandmate of mine. We both played baritone. I never once thought like, I need to ridicule this guy because he's stammering. Like, I would never do that, right? Whenever he would talk, I would just listen. I'm like, that's because this kid was cool to talk to. He had cool ideas. He was an interesting dude. I fuck with my boy Michael. And I think eventually he moved schools, I think a couple of years into high school. I don't know. I don't know what happened. And since then, it made me so angry. I was furious at anybody who would ever call out speaking problems or like difficulties, because my thing wasn't as much as the stuttering as it was mumbling through all of my words, because I think probably at 5 times the pace that I speak, or I think the entire paragraph I want to say and then I start speaking the first word. So it's trying to get everything out at the same pace as, like, I want to get a paragraph out in a sentence. And I got ridiculed from family and friends like about it growing up, to where I always didn't like speaking. Public speaking wasn't hard because it was just, I could fake my way through public speaking because you just rehearse what you have to say, slow it down, you act confident, and boom, easiest thing in the world.
Gosh, that's the worst. Or rehearsal for to speak. Oh, I'm definitely stuttering.
Like, exactly. No, I feel that. But it wasn't until actually, and I talked to him about this. It was meeting Cam Grayson, like freshman or sophomore year of college, and brother speaks a mile a minute too. And meeting him and see how comfortably he was speaking fast, and I'm like, I can understand exactly what you're saying. You can understand exactly what I'm saying, even if I speak fast or rush through my words. Yeah. None of us is saying, whoa, hold up. What did you say? Whoa, hold up. Stop. Say that again. What did you say? Yeah. Nobody said that. That was one of the most comfortable conversations I had with a person in a long time, that I was like,
yeah, so refreshing.
It was refreshing.
I'm not going to rephrase nothing. I don't have to recite nothing. I don't have to go over.
I don't have to feel anxious about talking to this person. I don't have to, I lived in such a fear of, I need to make sure I say this properly, because if I mess up, they're not going to want to listen to anything else that I say. So I'm always anxious of what I'm saying and how I'm saying it, to make sure, like, I gotta land this delivery of this thing I'm telling a friend, because I speak fast because I'm afraid they don't want to actually listen to me. So you speak fast, like, okay, maybe they only want like to listen to me for like 5 seconds. I need to say everything in 5 seconds.
Oh my God.
And so when I met you and when I first heard you stammering, I was like, I get it. But I love talking to you. It was so fun talking to you. And then
that's cool.
And that's how I started content. One of the things was like, or content actually helped me heal a lot of this, because it forced me to slow down and all this stuff. And progressively, I'm learning different things that help, right? First, it was slow down, Arish. Second, it was scripting does help, or having, bullet points of ideas on your phone when you're trying to riff on camera to like go back to for ideas and not get off on tangents. The third thing that happened this year was, and this is a huge ass pause, open your mouth. Because I'm so used to like talking with my jaw locked and stuff that I would murmur through everything. And this taught me how to open my mouth and speak, and watching other people. Right now, it's, for me, just, full transparency, I'm trying to figure out how to be a more engaging speaker, because even in day to day, I'm like, I don't I still do the same like rushing and murmuring and stuff, and I just want to fix that for myself, because now I don't like it. It's not even about I like it and somebody else doesn't. I'm like, you know what? I actually don't like it. I actually want to enunciate and speak up and be loud, but I don't know how to. Growing up, I didn't talk much at home because it felt like I couldn't. People around me didn't like it when I used big words, and I used to like to read. So I used to like using prolific language, and I used to like using words like remuneration. You don't know what it means. You're using words like larger words, and I couldn't use those at home for some reason. And so I stopped using big words and trying to challenge my intelligence and, speak the way I wanted to. And so that part just hit me yesterday when I was listening to a different podcast. But like, yeah, I really had my speech locked for quite a few years. And so, and that like content is healing that part of me of like bringing back out. If I can use the big words that I want, but now in my brain, I don't even remember the fucking big words that I want to use. So when I'm talking, I feel like I'm just talking like simple language that doesn't feel natural. I use the words good and dope and fire all the time instead of and sick, instead of using interesting, intriguing, or diabolical, and just random words that you would like to listen to. Whimsical. I love the word whimsical.
That's what this world would do to you. Like, it's like, for example, I know what you're saying. I understand exactly what you're saying, because like, and when I was younger, like the school I was at, it was an all black school. Like, you know what I'm saying? It was in Minneapolis, Minnesota. I used to live there. We were learning Swahili, and I was speaking Swahili like fluently, back then, like I was like 7, 8, 9, 10. And that I moved here. There's no Swahili speakers in Texas. So like that side just kind of got lost. Like I don't remember phrases or words anymore because like no one speaks Swahili. So I get it. Like, you know what I'm saying? And me, I use big words. I love using big words because I used to read a lot. I was forced to read a lot of books as a kid because I studied speech impediment, speech therapy, speech homework. You know what I'm saying? So I had to read a lot of books. So I definitely understand you using big words. Like nowadays, I just be like, I speak in like poetry almost. Like I like speaking like poetic for phrases and tones. Like I feel like that makes it easier for me to speak. Like I might say like something profitable, whatever, but I like being very poetic in ways, like, so that's me now, like versus this,
What?
Speech is interesting.
Speech is interesting. Speech is very interesting because I envy people who just feel comfortable saying whatever it is, right? I actually envy people who project their voices. I envy everybody who is capable of doing what I had locked down, right? 7th grade, this scene lives on in my mind. 7th grade classroom, teachers down the hall talking to a different teacher, so we're just in the class chatting. I'm just talking, right? It's 7th grade. I think my balls dropped in like the 5th, so like my voice got deeper. And so once your voice gets deeper, it does start projecting. You become taller, you become older, you become a bit more confident. And she comes into class and she says, I could hear your voice all the way down the hallway. Speaking to me specifically. I'm like, how? Why is it gotta be my voice? But since then, and also being in a household that was a more quieter household, like we didn't really raise our voices in the household in general, but you don't have the liberty to explore your range of volume and pitch and tone. And so my entire voice just shrunk. And so I always envied people when I was in public. I'm like, bro, how are you projecting your voice like that? You're so clear, you're so loud, and you have no ill intent. You're not yelling at me. You just have a loud voice. You're so confident with it. It makes me want to trust you because you're projecting your voice. You're like very comfortable. and I talk into myself.
And as soon as you do it, you kind of feel like there's something wrong with it. Like if I project my voice, I feel like I'm doing something I'm not supposed to do.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. There's times when we're like talking on like a video call to like our parents and stuff. And so sometimes I'm just talking like this, like I'm just like projecting my voice, and I'm trying to make it feel more natural. But then my wife's like, "Why are you so loud?" I'm like, I would just, I sure, okay, I'll bring it down, because everybody's used to this tone of this level of what I usually speak. So
or maybe I'm just being passionate about whatever I'm talking about.
Exactly.
Passion cannot be a crime. I mean,
passion cannot be confused for being loud and like yelling. Like passion is not the same as yelling.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, no, speech is something that I'm intimately familiar with, and I do love talking to people about it. Now that I've also been working through it, because also, you had the opportunity to actually go through speech therapy and speech impediment work. I never did. So like all this stuff was kept being an issue, which I think I do wonder if that's why I would always like talk more at school and talk less at home, but then also be so class clowny at school, because it was just a way to hear my own voice. Who knows? Maybe break that down in therapy later. But
that's a bar.
It might be. That's a bar. That's
because that's crazy that you say that, because I was actually like, I was talking to somebody. I was like, I think it was my mom or something. It was like years ago, whatever. It was like, I think we were talking about my sister being like a bad student, like a bad kid, or whatever, because she was always getting suspended, always fighting, right? But she was like, it didn't matter because she was so smart. She always had A's, 100% and everything, right? And I was like, well, if you, the reason why she's in trouble so much, because if you don't challenge a kid, what they gonna do? They're gonna find challenges for themselves, and a lot of times that's get themselves in trouble, right? So I feel like when it comes to that, being able to like explore things like talking, what I'm saying, explore things like speech, it's like, well, you have to allow me to talk and be able to scream and yell and all this other shit, because like if you keep holding me back from it, I'm going to do it in a place that's like, because it's going to be crazy and I'm going to get in trouble for real. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just feel like there should always be like an opportunity or rooms for people to like explore their intrusive thoughts, or just, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, like I do believe that your home should be where you feel safe from like excess punishment, to explore things that otherwise in the outside world would bring in excess punishment. Like thinking about having a family one day, I constantly think about what kind of parent I want to be, and that's one of the things. Is like, I can't have my child be afraid to do things at home, because if they're gonna do something anyway, they can't do it at home, they got to do it outside, right? But if they do it outside, they're fucked. I can't help if they do it outside, right? But if they're at home, there's no yelling, there's no scolding, there's no like hitting. There's just, Dad, what does the word bitch mean? I heard that at school. What do these words mean? Okay, so these are swear words. They're words that people generally attribute to like negative things. You don't use them in like polite terms. Like they usually mean like some people use it playfully, etc. People use it at a certain. You can explain these things without my child coming out and saying, "Dad, what does bitch mean?" And then I'm like, "What the fuck did you say?" Like that's the first thing a parent might do in today's generation, right?
That's my yes. Yeah. Like, I definitely agree with you on that, because I'm very like, I mean, I consider myself like a free-minded person or whatever.
Very open-minded. What is that meme of that Korean guy who's like, are you open-minded, of like in those, it's so funny. Never mind. Sorry. Tangent. Go ahead.
No, you're good. Like, and then like, so like a lot of things that people could deem as bad or negative, I don't.
Mm-hmm.
Only because like, not everything is so black and white. Like, for example, I don't believe that good and bad exists. I feel like that's something that ancient, not ancient, but modern society thought of. When I say modern, not like 21st century, I'm talking about like 1600s modern, because like that's where society foundation started. You know what I'm saying? But so anyway, I was on that topic.
We'll get you back here to debate the logic of good and evil.
Yeah, so basically what I'm trying to say is like, I don't look at people's good and bad as good and bad. There's always going to be a reason why at the end of the day, and everyone has their own code of conduct to which they follow. So how can I tell you what's good or what's bad if you lived a life to where you were taught or you learned certain things that was between anyway? So when it comes to like children and stuff like that, it's like I have to change my mindset to think that there weren't such thing as bad kids, where like you can always not change but always teach kids ways to carry out lives. You know what I'm saying? Like, it might not be good for your life, but it might be beneficial to theirs. You just never know. You know what I'm saying? So like, it's like I try to be more open to that. And I taught dance at school in New Orleans. It was actually in the French Quarter, and a lot of those kids were fucking different. Like when I say different, they were like they weren't like tablet kids. Like they weren't like 2022, like they weren't like 2022, 2023 kids. They were like they remind me when I was a kid almost, like, you know what I'm saying? Like how everyone had their own different personalities, their own different aesthetic or thing that they fucked with so hard. And it was like each kid had their own different style and how they dress and these kids can fucking dress. I was like, they're like 10 or 11. They're like, they're like 8 and 9 and 10. I'm like, what the hell?
They got drip. Like, man, kids have drip at 8, 9, and 10. I was wearing Aeropostale and American Eagle, bro, with cargo shorts at that age.
Oh my God. Like, literally. But it was like, it wasn't like they had like name brands. They were like, they put shit together that was cool, you know? And then like, I ended up talking to a lot of those kids, and I was like, in the back of my mind, I think that they said, I was like, oh, that's bad. But it was like, it was bad. It was like, a lot of times kids need to feel free. You know what I'm saying? Because you never know how, because, you know, kids need discipline, of course. But how much discipline do a kid actually get in their life, like get in their day to day? So like, can they at least feel free for once? Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, kind of like what you said, like, at home, I have to be quiet. At school, I have to be quiet. When is a time where I can just be fucking loud? And you know what I'm saying? Like, I have to wait till I go to a friend's house on Saturday night. Come on, like, let's be real. Like, you know?
Exactly.
Like,
that's really funny you say that, because I grew up in a quiet household. I'm so much used to lower volumes and everything. You know, growing up, my dad was always like, don't slam the doors. Don't slam the car door. Don't talk loud. Like, don't raise your voice. And so when we're in this, when I was living alone, or when I'm living, like right now living with my wife, she is naturally a louder person than I am. And so we just have a joke of like, whenever I'm loud, I'm yelling, but when she's loud, she's just being like herself. But I think about like, I also like, I've been conditioned. I don't like loud noises as much anymore. Like, you know, when people are loud, I get uncomfortable, or like I get a bit just like annoyed. I'm like, what the fuck are you so loud? Quiet down. At least just quiet down. Stop being so loud. And so I think about, holy shit, a kid's gonna fuck me up because they're gonna be so fucking loud, and I'm gonna be like, you need to be loud. It's fine. Maybe I'll be loud with them finally, without yelling. But I just imagine, like, man, my entire like inner calm and inner peace of being such a calm toned person is just crumpled up and fucking chef curried out the window because, you know, it's kids gonna be loud as fuck. And okay, so we're talking about kids, and this happened literally this morning, and I was thinking about talking about it, but I didn't want to pulse on too many tangents. But I got a haircut this morning. I was at the barbershop, and a dude was there with his two boys. And so when the two boys were sitting next to me and the guy was getting his haircut, they were just like on the phone messing around and stuff. They started, and so one of the kids was like, dude, Obama's calling me. Obama, what's, and he's just like making like jokes like with Obama's name, which is just funny. Like we would do that. So like them doing it is not an issue. So as I was on my phone, I was listening to them. I was like, yeah, that was a funny joke. And they were loud, quote unquote. They were just talking at whatever volume they chose to talk to. They're just making these jokes, etc. A part of me like initially was like, oh my God, why are they like this? And then as I sat in that, I was like, they're doing no harm. They're having fun. They're being playful. I'm the person who needs to rethink what that is like. They're not being disrespectful to anybody. They're not in my face, in anybody's face. They're just kids having fun. And I was like, damn, I got so much learning to do. I got so much improving to do.
It's not your fault though.
It's not anybody. It's not my fault, but it's just like, I ruminate a lot. One of my many, the very few obsessive or compulsive like behaviors that I have is excess rumination and then excess fidgeting, which I always do whenever I'm talking to somebody. It just helps me focus. And rumination is a big thing though, because I'm in my head 24/7. Because as a kid when I couldn't talk, I was in my head 24/7. I'm in my head 24/7. My head projects whatever I'm doing out years in advance before I even finish doing the thing that I'm doing, or before I even start doing the thing that I'm doing. So
that's real. Damn, we're more alike than
I knew it. You knew it, and now everybody else knows it. And I'm sure there's more people out there like us. But the excess rumination just made it to where I've just realized that, okay, you just have a lot of things to just, you know, or I guess the better way to put it, not to say this is the exact way I think, but the better way to put it is you just have the opportunity to experience different things in life, because these are things you have yet to experience or you were barred from experiencing, and now you get them. And whether they're good or bad, to your point, not a thing. I get the opportunity to figure out what my voice is actually like. I get the opportunity to maybe have a kid one day and figure out, what noise level do I want in my family? How do I want to talk to my kid when they come up to me and like show me their middle finger and like, look what I can do. I can hold up one finger at a time. I got in trouble for that in the first grade because one of the other kids showed me how to hold up my middle finger. So I went to the teacher. I was like, dude, look what I can do. And I got an infraction for that shit.
Damn, that's crazy. You didn't even know what it was. I
didn't know what it was. I was like, what does flipping somebody off mean? My parents got onto me for doing that to the teacher. I'm like, I don't know what that means though. I'm a first grader. I've been in this country for 2 years.
I get that. That's crazy because it's like because I guess because here, though, honestly, truly, I have this mindset. Kids are smarter than what they let themselves off.
Hell, of course. Like, the kids are manipulative. Okay, as much as I want to let my kids have fun, they're not gonna pull one over on me. As smart as they think they are, I know I'm smarter, so I will take every opportunity to let them know that.
But you know what it is? It's like kids see the world exactly what the world is.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's just that once we get older, you know, like well, I won't say once you get older. That's why trauma hits you early,
right?
Because you once you're a kid, how the world is, how you see the world, it's exactly what it's supposed to be. Like, you know,
Right?
it's
Yeah, like a
supposed to
tree
be-
is a tree. That man walking on the side of the road is simply a man walking on the side of the road. That
You know?
that woman in the grocery store is simply a woman in the grocery store. But to me, that tree might have bugs on it that are infectious, and I don't want to go near that tree because there's maybe ants on that bug. That dude on the side of the road, she may be walking kind of shifty. Who knows? That woman in the grocery store, she's about to start yelling. She's a Karen. Who knows? Like, yeah, you're right.
You know, and how children walk around Earth and how they interact with the Earth, it's super pure. But once trauma hits, and then you start to really second guess every single thing. You start to be like, I don't know. Maybe I might die today, or maybe I might die tomorrow. You know, you start really like thinking heavy, and like that's why I'd be like, man, like I don't think there's such thing as good and bad in kids. It's only going to be like, you know what I'm saying? Like, and understand there are kids that again, I was told not to get on these topics, but like there are kids that commit murder. You know what I'm saying? But I'm not justifying murder being good or bad, whatever. But murder is such a real world thing. You know what I'm saying? Like it's like, and there's children that has capable of doing that. I feel like everyone has capable of doing that, but there's children who has done that. You see what I'm saying? Like it's like the way kids move around the earth or move around this world is so pure and it's so real. It's real. It's legit. You know what I'm saying? And it's like once we like start quote unquote teaching kids like how to move in society, telling them to be quiet, or like Kanye said it best, like don't stand on this coffee table because it's a coffee table. Well, what the fuck is a coffee table to me? I want to stand on it. You know what I'm saying? Like it's like just because society tells you how to act doesn't mean that you get to act like that or like you be. You know what I'm saying? It's I can go on and on about this.
No, we're actually going to call you back and talk deeper into these topics because these are actually very interesting topics to talk about. But
yeah, I get deep into.
Yeah,
I like talking about real world. I was going to tell you earlier about speech. It was talking to people, like saying like, "Hey, how are you?" Like I hate
small
that
talk.
shit. Like I like small talk.
You might see this in other people, but there are people who, depending on how smart you think you are, how smart you actually are, how much you ruminate, what kind of things you think about. You know, my therapist put it this way of like, and this is just not the exact same, but you know, when I was telling her like I have a lot of thoughts, I think a lot. She has, you know, people with sophisticated thoughts have sophisticated worries. Sophisticated worries aren't necessarily real all the time, but people who have a lot of sophisticated thoughts think they like to talk. They like to talk about all these topics all the time, or they would if they could. They don't like small talk because it feels very frivolous. It feels unnecessary. In the same way, I've learned, because I also hate small talk, but I've actually tried to learn to be okay with it. My issue was I didn't know how to make small talk. I didn't know how to make small talk interesting. Right? It's about making small talk interesting. It's not about how's the weather today. It's about, you know, it's not necessarily about what you do this weekend, but when they say, oh yeah, I just went to the park with the kids. Oh, cool. What did y'all do? You know, which park? Things that like growing up, I was told, like, oh, don't be so nosy. But like, they're normal questions to ask in a day-to-day conversation, right? Like what do you mean don't be so nosy? It's not oversharing and it's not me being nosy because I'm just interested in an activity that you know, volunteered to introduce to me, things like that, right? So I've come to try to figure out inside small talk, how do I make it interesting, right? I do hate the question, how's work going? But a lot of like, you know, both my parents and my in-laws ask me that, and I don't like talking about work. Because I just don't like talking about it. So when they say how's work, I say good. It was fine. Just worked a lot today. It was busy. That's about it, right? It's not that deep. But if they were to ask me about these things, so if they were like, did you go work out today? Or, you know, when they ask, what did you eat today? Sometimes I'm, you know, things like that. It's, I have to get used to thinking about these questions to ask them. It comes more naturally to them because that's also how they show care, is asking like all the details. But even in small talk, it's like, you have to be comfortable asking, you know, when I go into a meeting with some colleagues and, you know, at the beginning of the meeting, we're like, how was your day or whatever? Instead of saying, oh, day was fine, I will volunteer. Dude, like, honestly, it's felt slow. Like, I know I have like these 3 returns to review, and I think I've like touched one, and I'm just like trying to get focused in and trying to, and they're like, yeah, you know, around the, you know, it's same. Like I've had, you know, people will then like answer with that. But if you just say, oh, it was good, how was yours? They're like, oh, it was good. So then you didn't, and then it doesn't go anywhere. But then you think, oh, that was such shitty small talk. Like, fuck that, right? Yesterday I had dropped my wife off to the train because she's going to visit a friend, and I saw another like much older couple. The wife had gotten on the train. I thought the husband was going to too, but the husband was actually off the train along this, like on the station where I was. And so I looked at him, I was like, you're like, you're here to drop her off too? Just like a little like casual thing between, just between dudes. And he was like, yeah, the bag, he was like, the bag's heavy. And then we never said anything else. Right. But that's still a little bit of small talk that I think just opened up a little bit more culture, husband culture, man culture, whatever it is. Right. And I just think that we're afraid of doing these things because for so long, you know, don't be too nosy, don't ask too many questions, all these things. I'm trying to, I'm not trying to be an open book, but I'm just trying to be more open, you know, and things like that. Like, I know people like to keep things private because everything's public nowadays and things like that. But, you know, if somebody's like, you know, just got back from a workout, whatever it is, I feel like it's okay to ask, oh, cool, did you hit legs or upper body today? You know, if they're like, oh yeah, I hit cardio, I'm like, okay, cool, Stairmaster or treadmill. What speed incline do you do? And, you know, like maybe those are like a little bit like more detailed questions. I don't think they're necessarily private, and you can connect on that. Yeah, dude, I can never go past a 3.0 on a 2.0 incline just because like I just haven't broken that yet. Things like that, right? Like that's still small talk because it only lasts for like 2-3 minutes. But I think it connects you a little bit more to the person.
It just like opens it up.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it kind of opens up your world a little bit more.
Yeah.
To like different things. I definitely understand that because, I mean, like as of lately, I've been like trying to like talk to people more, like people I don't know, just like random strangers and shit like that. Because like, not that I need more friends or need more people to talk to, but it's more like, I mean, like, I learn a lot more in public than like, you know, like people say you learn more talking to people on the streets than you will learn sometimes in school, depending, or even when you go to college, they said that you will learn more from your peers than you will learn in a room, depending on what type of student that you are, right?
Agree.
Like, I started learning a lot about shit in public. So I started talking to people more, especially women. Like, I stopped, it might sound crazy, I stopped hitting on women and I started having normal conversations. Yeah. Because, like, you start realizing how cool as fuck women are in real time. You know, once you start looking at their body, you're like, oh shit, she's actually smart as fuck. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah,
you know,
it's enjoyable to have a conversation with this woman. Or I'm actually enjoying this conversation with this woman, and I have not once thought about how she looks, or like, you know, taking her like all that stuff, right? You know, no, that's fair. That's fair. That's one thing I haven't cracked, but I think that's also like me being a married dude, and I don't know where this is just. It's just me being transparent. I don't know where the line is of like what kind of conversation I'm allowed to have with women or supposed to have with women as a married dude. I still like, I'm very open when I talk to men and women the same. I just don't go up to women and strike up a conversation as easily as I would go up to a dude and strike up a conversation. Like at a gym, I would strike a conversation with any dude, but with a woman, I would probably still never, or not yet, right? Just because there's still like something there where like I just haven't figured out, okay, how do I navigate this to where it's respectful for both sides, but at the same time, if I want to talk to, this could be a good conversation, I want to have a good conversation, regardless of if it's a man with a man or with a woman. So I haven't cracked that yet for myself, but I think that's dope. To your point of like the exposure therapy of it, you're not going to get better at talking to people unless you go and talk to people.
Mm-hmm. Especially niggas that have speech problems. Shit, I can't just not work on it by not talking.
The amount of time. Do you ever like think when you're like saying bye to somebody or hi to somebody and you want to say bro or fam or just like you don't know which like word you want to say, so you end up saying some like bullshit. Well, like what's up, Bram? Fuck.
No lie. I always say G. Like, and then it was crazy. I always stutter believing when I say bye to somebody. Like, I don't say thank you. I say I appreciate you. Mm-hmm. But you see how I stuttered there? Mm-hmm. Is appreciate will always be like something I'll like always But mm-hmm. I always say I appreciate you, and like I leave whatever. Like that's the thing I say, or like I say. I see you later. I never say bye. Like I've never been taught to say bye. I always say I see you later. So it'd be these phrases that like I have, what I'm saying? Like
I feel that.
Yeah,
wow.
Yeah.
This was a very insightful conversation, Heartless. I have one more thing to ask you, and I ask everybody this. I will actually have two things to ask you, but the first thing is, I ask everybody this who comes on the podcast. It's an intentionally vague question, but if there's one piece of advice that you like to give to somebody who is listening today, what would that be?
Man, that's a good one. Art will always rule. Everything is art. Like everything is art. Art is what's going to save us from everything and anything. Like, don't ever take it for granted. Fall in love with it. Lead with love. You know what I'm saying? Any problem you may have, art can 100% fix it. You know what I'm saying? No matter if it's financially, domestic, spiritually, physically, art will always save it. You know what I'm saying? This whole world has been built off of art. So if you understand that and know that, and then you carry that with love, you will always prevail. So
I love that. I love that. Heartless. Where can people find you if they want to keep up with what you're doing?
Instagram, Senpai Heartless on Instagram, SENPAI Heartless. YouTube, Nouveau Riche Entertainment. And
lovely. Once again, Heartless, thank you for joining me today.
I appreciate it. Thank you for having me.